Hello everybody, this is Allsize Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Disco Elysium. In the previous episode, we finally got around to performing the autopsy, field autopsy, on our victim, and discovered, through a bit of luck, the true cause of death. Now, looking back through the, footage as I was editing, I realized there was an option to just walk away and not bag up the corpse, but you know what? I don't really need the boots. Yes, there is an achievement for getting all pieces of the armor, but don't really need it. There is one piece of armor that I do need to get for reasons. But other than that, no. Anyways.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Pull up the radio again.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I was told I need to connect to my station, the 41st Lazareth.
It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
You hear a man clearing his throat briskly, then an answer.
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
I was told to call Lazarus. People are worried about me.
Oh, it's you.
You know who I am?
Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me.
Sure, but can you tell me about myself, as in who I am?
Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. I've got more important things to do.
I've lost my memory. All of it.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. Okay, anything else?
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
Is there anything you can do for me?
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body?
Alright, I see your point. May as well just get back to work.
Do that. I need to go. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate. It looks like MacTorson, but it's hard to say because his eyes are swollen.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's super glue, Doc.
Cyanoacrylate is superglue.
I guess that's it for now.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Could you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for me?
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
E50.100.1000. The make and the model of the armor is Fairweather T500/VE.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isoleri law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
Alright, well, like she said, call back tomorrow. Alright, been dreading this one. Could you connect me to the 41st Precinct? I have something I need to report.
Just a second, officer.
Puts you on hold, the static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greet you from the radio. His ratty voice is oddly familiar.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
The man uses relay code. You've got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, Station 41. I've got an urgent business. Over.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over.
Just reporting in. Over.
10-18, state your message, sir.
I need to report my badge missing.
10-9, over.
My badge. I can't find it anywhere. Basically, it's gone.
10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? lost his badge?
Say nothing.
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
He says, fighting off the laughter.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Ha ha, officer has lost his badge. Ha ha, like I'm the first cop ever to misplace his badge.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh god damn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Over.
Mullen dicked us.
Can we just move on? I want to get it reported and be done with it.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
Didn't you glue your eyes shut earlier, and now you're making fun of me?
Lost a badge.
Enough with this now. I have other things to discuss.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
The animated conversation in the back is making it difficult for him to hear you.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
The room roars with
Sergeant
laughter.
Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Oh, fuck.
Do I have a point? I have a point to spare. I'm going to put this in. They don't need to know that I lost my badge. Oh, jeez.
Lying over the phone, it's easy. Just say it like it's the truth. And then it becomes it.
Oh, of course I didn't lose my gun.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine the poor prick who has to relay that kind of news to the captain. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can't have some gangbanger running around with it.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Over.
This might sound odd, but there's some personal details I'd like to discuss.
Okay, 10-4, sir. I hear you. Relay your question. Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through.
I need information, not fear.
Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
Hold on, are you alone in the room? I need some confidential information about myself.
That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12. Visitors present here. Over.
Ugh. Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Understood, sir. Over.
Alright, 10-10. Transmission completed. Standing by. Over.
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
Good boy. Huh?
Yes?
I want to talk about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work better together if we have more rapport.
That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
Goodest of the good cops. Get Kim to really trust you. Alright. So, do you ever talk with yourself?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have conversations with, like, your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
So you're saying your brain never just chimes in with advice or warnings or anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his familiar mnemotechnique A6 and idly thumbs through a few pages. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
That's all for
Good.
now.
Let's change the subject.
Okay. Well, body's taken care of. Now what? Let's see. That's... No. Investigate the Doom. Just lost Boole. I should actually look into that one. Give me one moment. Oh, that's easy enough. Gotta investigate the Doom Commercial District area anyways. Because that is where we can find something to replace it.
You see a set of... You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
She tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Alright, not gonna click on any of these. Not until I have my 15th Indo tribe.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Unlock the door with the key.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Okay, open the door and enter. Oh, hey. And it looks like Kim's got something to say.
What is this place?
Looks like a gym to me.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages.
He draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot.
I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a ray of streetlight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
I wonder if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
And like he said, we should probably get the flashlight out. What's this? Smells like leather and sweat.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory.
Yeah, there's no way I'm lifting that. A lot of green orbs that I can't really click on right now. Some creepy-ass mannequins. Hey, more money.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
He sounds surprised and a bit cautious.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120. equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Turn on the machine.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Look inside the compartment.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Press play.
Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
Press print.
Nothing happens. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the welkin. This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin, to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the welkins.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
Keep reading. What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. The full text reads, "Heat Death of the Universe is the new black." Another note says, The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Okay.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Cadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hold on. How do I know what Cadran mosaic tiles is supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
This must be an elaborate piece of art.
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
Feature creep.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Mm-hmm. Cost of air width alone must have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
What's through here? Basement.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making?
Yes, that is the question.
Lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
How are they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master Frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
And this was a role-playing game?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with heat death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Do we have any money? Let's give them more money so they can finish it and make it even bigger.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
He says, looking around the derelict room, the pipes howl and the rat crosses the floor.
Okay, let's keep moving.
What do we got here? More money and magnesium. Not what I need right now. Which reminds me, I should quick save.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
What is this thing? Looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door.
Crack open the door.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Look inside the refrigerator.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Comercial Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take a note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
A giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
Lieutenant points at the red snaky cable running from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Well, may as well follow the cables. Like it leads over here? Nope. Here we are. I think this one's important. Ice cream maker that's still running.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Unplug the giant red cable.
An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
Unplug the black cable.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
Okay, I know there's something down here that's important. Ah. Nose of head. Need that. Insane mesh tank top. Whatever. Ah, well, there's that. Strange shadow. Hidden. There's a hidden doorway here. What have we got here?
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Look, there's a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Inspect the rifles.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This one looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
An old Belle Magret from the Revolution. What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Interact. What's this? Oh, yeah.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sully Swaff.
Remind me again, what's a filament memory?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Huh. Wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box?
You know what? We forgot to take a look at this.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
What do I do with you, Bullet?
What?
I said, what do I do with you, Bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me.
An idea.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Feel the bullet through the bag.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
Inspect the bullet closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet, close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
Haha! Good thing we found that rifle. Zigby said this came from a breech loader, or whatever the name of the antique rifle you found. Have a similar rifle on hand. Come on, 97% chance.
A rifle. Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique. The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you, the dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Is anyone still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war, so there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Who uses Bell McGrave rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
I think I know where this came from. Dangle the bag thoughtfully.
Okay. And?
The shot probably came from a Bell McGrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
Why not?
Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy have been effective, from what I've seen. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Makes you consider every shot. I like it.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Yeah, something mysterious is afoot with this antique bullet type.
Mysterious? Okay. Either way, we'll know when we find the gun.
Bullet has nothing more to say. Alright, we got some info about what we're looking for. Oh wait, frozen ice cream maker. Gotta check that out now that we know. And someone tells me I'm gonna need this.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Turn the ice cream crank.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's not happening. Pry bar ain't strong enough for that. Oh well, better let some time to let it thaw out.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Huh, look inside the furnace.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs, the echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
Not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Yell hello. Kick it with your foot.
A hollow ring.
Ah.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw.
So I'm guessing this is bad.
Very, very bad. This is the end bad.
Try to remain conscious.
All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't even... Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, didn't...
Okay. Alright. Good to know. Don't kick the furnace. And we know the pry bar's not strong enough. Well, this is why we quick save.
A thick layer of... Looks like this furnace has a face. It's dark. The echo is...
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Hello?
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
You hear a woman's voice answer.
you've awakened the entity.
Hello? Are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Alright. Let's head upstairs then. And find wherever the heck this safety curtain was. What's this? Production schedule, filament memory. Huh. Okay. Eh. Floorboards creak. I guess this is where it was.
Hello. I'm Nia.
Bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Hold on, what do you mean by Milius?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on her table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Why are you asking about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
No, I was looking for something else. Answers.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, There's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
She stops to try and come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
I see. Thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Lieutenant looks around the spacious room, its ceiling fading into shadows above.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
I don't know why the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on, the Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the east of the Comercial project.
No, the Whirling isn't doing well either. The waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying
And
bills.
then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
I'll be first to admit there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
I know we're over the time, but
Quite
still.
a lot of them spring to mind.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's why Kuno needs a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
He's the little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window, her face reflecting back in the dark.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
And who was Artemitep?
A kind man, from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Judging from the kids I've met so far, it didn't really work out, did it?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the halfway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
Yeah, it's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic disc.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
There's a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans close, her hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Alright, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
She leans back, disapproving.
Fritta does the same thing.
I know a girl just like that. She works in the Frit as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
Pressing her thumbs to her temples like trying to suppress a headache.
Of
Didn't work out.
course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I'm sure the bear was doing its best. I killed the bear. You unplugged it.
You did what?
I unplugged the fridge to help Revachol Ice City cut their losses.
Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool.
Megatherion?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life. By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
I don't do drugs.
Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad finishing the story.
Anything else? I'm not good. I hope it clarified.
Alright, well, that's that. We've investigated the doomed commercial district and found that it's just market fluctuations and bad business decisions, as it usually is. Alright, we've gone over our time limit. Not by too much. So I'm going to end things off there for today. If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications when I upload. And please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.